Welcome to the CA House Music YouTube channel where we'll be covering everything NAMM. For this video, we are giving away Taylor straps. To enter this giveaway, make sure you are subscribed to this channel and comment below what you liked most about the Taylor products. Let's get to the video.
Hey guys, it's Melissa. I am here at Winter NAMM 2020. I'm from CA House Music. This is...
I'm not.
You're not. Where are you from?
I am from Taylor Guitars.
Woo! So this is Rich. He's from Taylor Guitars. And today we are going to be talking about all the awesome, cool new stuff that they have here at the Taylor booth in Anaheim. Take it away. Rich is my BFF, so.
We're BFFs. Okay. So here's the big story this year with Taylor, Melissa, is Builder's Edition. Now, we came out with Builder's Edition a few years ago with the K14. So let's just kind of step back a little bit. So, you know, if we're going to do this, let's get the big picture. Okay. So we're up high. We're at 20,000 feet and we're looking down. Andy Powers, who's our guitar designer, our master guitar designer, comes out with V-Class. All right, V-Class totally takes everything by storm.
I remember that.
Yes, and now with V-Class came the ability to tone shape a lot of things that we never were able to before. All right, so then we come out with Builder's Editions, which is basically like a director's cut of guitars. Everything Andy would want in a guitar, we now have in the director's cut. All right, so Builder's Edition comes out, the K14. Then we followed that up with a 614. So we had a Koa, then we came out with a Maple version in the 6. And so now for this year, we're continuing that on. So we have 4 new versions. We have a 300 series version in a Builder's Edition. And the big story about that, the big fun thing, is that guitar is of urban ash. So this urban thing, all of this talk of sustainability and guitar. Okay, so this is reclaimed wood that we were, and I should know exactly where this wood came from, but somewhere in the United States, and it's urban ash, and there's just such a great story behind this because a company from California envisioned this happening years ago. And they bought like hundreds of acres in Northern California to store a lot of these trees that were cut down in urban areas of the country. So, I mean, what a great story, you know, that we're able to reclaim this wood and that this company had the vision to do that. All right.
That's amazing.
So Andy and Bob and Kurt and Keith and Monty and everybody involved with Taylor, we go up there and we start looking at this wood. And these logs are, you know, even bigger than me. And they're looking at what can we do to use this wood. All right. So that's the story of what you're going to be seeing over the years. And the beginnings of it is the...
Wow.
Builder's Edition. Okay.
I love that. That is such a really cool idea to increase the sustainability of the music industry.
Yeah, it's just totally amazing. And it's from North America. It's all sourced, you know, North American sourced for this particular guitar. All right. So then we came up with we have one behind us here, is the new 900 series in the Builder's Edition. And there's going to be, you can get it in this beautifully, they call that a wild honeyburst top.
Do you want to play the Wild Honeyburst for us?
I could.
I believe in you.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
Everybody got that? And yeah, I will in just a second. We'll go through this. We'll step through. So then there's the 900. This is like every electric guitar player's dream of having an acoustic.
Explain.
It plays, it feels, it has the response of like you're playing your favorite electric guitar, but it's an acoustic guitar. All right. So it has just amazing touch sensitivity. Then we also have a new 12-string guitar in a concert size. Okay. All right. So it is just, you know, all of these cool, amazing things happening with Builder's Edition. We're not even talking about what else we're doing this year, but this is the big story. So everybody that gets the Wood and Steel magazines, the new Wood and Steel, there it is, all of the Builder's Edition models. And, you know, this is just a totally amazing direction. And none of this, you know, again, this 15,000-foot view, none of this would be possible without the introduction of V-Class, because V-Class gave us that chassis to be able to make woods sound like they're supposed to sound. And not only that, because the guitar now is being more responsive, the electronics that we have are picking that up. You know, it used to be the story of, it doesn't matter what acoustic guitar you play, as soon as you plug it in, all you hear is the pickup. Well, that's not true anymore. Not with Taylor, because we designed our own electronics. So now it's picking up. So a maple guitar plugged in sounds maple. A rosewood guitar plugged in sounds rosewood. All right. So all of these nuances are coming together. And now, and if we bring that view down now even closer, here's the cool thing. This is Taylor's, I think, 44th year in business, maybe 45. Started in 1974 with Bob and Kurt. So our founders are still here. They show up for work every day. You know, they're all right here. Andy Powers, our master designer, has now bought into the company. So he's a partial owner now and our master designer. And so we have founders that work here. We now don't have any more technology that is borrowed. So what do we mean by that? Okay, well, you know, we have friends at a lot of guitar companies. Martin, you know, Gibson, all these things, okay? We can talk about that, that's okay. Because we all...
You see my...
Yeah, because we all love guitars. All right, we all love guitars. But you know what? When Bob started the company in 1974, he was building guitars that were X-braced. Well, who came up with X-braced? Martin. Okay, so there was a lot of technology borrowed. Well, now we came up with our own neck design, the NT neck. Now we have our own bracing with V-Class. All right, we make our own electronics. We are now self-sustaining, and our founders are here.
Awesome. And you have 100,000 acres, what was it, hundreds of acres of reclaimed wood.
Well, there is a company that's not owned by us that has reclaimed all of this wood. They bought a couple hundred acres in Northern California to store it.
Okay.
So that's, you know, so now we do that. And then we partner with Pacific Tone Woods that helps us cut and mill and make sure everything's right. You know, will all of these woods dry properly? Will they take stain? Will they do all of these things that guitar players want? And when you see our 300, the answer is yeah.
Okay, I would love to see the 300.
Should we do that now?
We should totally do that now. Oh, he's gone. He is coming back.
So here, remember me?
We missed you.
Yeah, thank you. People keep throwing things at me. They keep missing me. All right, so here is the new 300. So it's called a 324 CE Builder's Edition. So, you know, what makes this a Builder's Edition? Well, a lot of things, excuse me, come into play. The cutaway here is entirely different. A lot of your viewers will know this from our K14. So we've taken all of these things we learned to bring them into this. So, big view again. Okay, so here we are at the big view again. These guitars are extremely expensive to make. Everything we're learning about building these guitars was all new. Tooling, labor, intensive, huge. So we started with the more expensive guitars because it was expensive to build, and the fact that it was something that was so new. Well, now that we've been doing it for a few years, we're able to say, okay, we're getting better at this. Things are working. We can now get it into our 300 series.
Efficiency brings down the price.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Now thing. So this is the Urban Ash. So if I do this, sustainability is amazing. You don't have to do anything hard. We're not doing anything fancy. It sustains forever. Okay. It stays in tune all the way up the neck. So I have open strings and 14 fretted strings, and it plays beautifully in tune all the way up the neck. Guitars just don't do that normally. You can still take hard hits. It's very balanced. It has the Godot tuners, the 21-to-1 tuners. It is the new Urban Ash. Okay.
That's a gorgeous. I mean, that's gorgeous.
It's just totally amazing. Rounded chamfered edges at a price point that is just amazing. So we're now able to do that. And then you've got the 900.
What is that price point, Rich?
The price point on here. Do we want to talk price online? We can. $29.99 street price.
Boom.
And that's just amazing.
And you're buying a guitar with a story behind it, with that urban ash. I mean, that you might not know the specific story, but that's a piece of history you're buying.
Yeah, and it's just totally reclaimed wood. You know, it's so, as you dig into this, it's so interesting to begin to say, okay, so you live in Cincinnati. Okay, so Cincinnati has trees that were downtown. Well, they grow and they grow for years and years and years, and pretty soon they just get to the point where they're too big, they could become dangerous. Okay, so they have to be cut down. Well, instead of putting them in a chipper, and we all love, what's that stuff? Mulch. We all love mulch. But the fact is that let's save these.
That tree has a history.
Correct. So let's tell the story with those trees. So this company is just searching. So we're able to actually say this wood on this guitar came from a tree that was at 314 North Main Street in Cincinnati, Ohio.
You guys actually know. Yeah. So you can pinpoint down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you buy a guitar and you get the serial number, are you able to figure out?
I don't know if it's that in depth, but we know where this tree came from.
That is
cool. Yeah. Okay. So it's really ill. So we should look at that 12 string as well. So,
I feel like we totally should.
Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera for a minute.
Okay, I think I'll be all right. Hi guys. I'm waiting for Rich, but I'm okay. So we're here in the Taylor booth. We're actually earlier than everyone else because Rich is amazing. So I had to get special permission to enter the show.
Yeah. So remember, so you remember everything now that we're talking about was able to be done because of the way we brace our instruments with the V class. So 12-string guitars are really interesting because the big joke about 12-string guitars are 50% of the time you're tuning it and 50% of the time you're playing them out of tune, right? And everybody that owns an old one knows that's true. So now what we have is a 12-string Builder's Edition. This is the smallest body shape, and everybody's going to say, well, you can't have a 12-string in a small body shape. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. You want a big, bold strummer.
Do you want to know the way to test if the body shape is truly small?
Oh, how's that?
Hold this.
Okay. Oh, can you hold it? There you go.
That's the way to test.
Yeah. So having it in a concert size gives you a really balanced overall tone. But what's really great about these 12 strings is the way they play. They play like an electric guitar. Okay. Now, for those viewers that have a really keen eye, you're going to spot something. And what you're going to spot is that the strings are reversed. So normally on a 12 string, you have the octave string first and the low string on that side. Okay, well now that's not that way. So your fundamental is on the first hit. So here's what ends up happening is that as you strum this guitar and you strum down, it's almost like it's a big fat 6 string. Because you hear all the fundamental notes. But if I strum upwards, I'm hitting those octave strings first. All right. The other thing about 12 strings is that on your unison strings, it should sound as one big fat note, like one, where unfortunately with some, it's 2 strings that are maybe slightly off out of kilter. So as you look down here, you'll see we only have 6 holes here, not 12, because the strings come out of the same hole, which means that the break angles of each string are the same. We also have a very special bridge here where every string is specific height and specific length, so the guitar plays in tune all the way up and down the neck, which is unheard of from a 12 string. So we test it by playing really weird voicings of. So we have an E chord using open strings, 7th and 9th fret on a 12 string. All right, so no warbling of any notes. And if we play dissonant notes that shouldn't sound good together, it doesn't sound weird. So you can play that song without using a capo in pitch on these 12 strings.
Let's hear a little more of it. It sounds gorgeous.
All right. So let's see if I can do it.
I believe in you.
You may have to make a cut and recut.
Shh.
Okay. See, we have to make a cut.
No, we don't. You sounded so good.
Oh, we have to do it again. No, somebody might hear it. Somebody I know might hear this.
You can just strum it. Just whatever you want. No, you can't do that.
We're going to do it again.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do it again. Okay? And there it is. No capo in pitch.
Can we hear some strumming to get that like full?
Absolutely.
That's just so full sounding and rich.
It's really amazing, and it was Rich playing it.
I
know. I saw what you did.
I set you up for that.
You did, but you even look at the aesthetics on the outside. You know, the beautiful the way that we've finished off the maple. So we have a maple back and sides. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So just an amazing, wonderful guitar. It's not neck heavy like a lot of 12 strings are because it's so balanced, and every note just comes out wonderful. So this is the new Builder's Edition 652 CE.
And if I wanted to play it, I could because it's small enough.
Exactly. And you don't have to be small or anything like that. It's very comfortable. It's very intimate. So it's just an amazing instrument, and it's a 12 fret, which is nice. So it's a shorter scale.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
We have anything else fun?
Well, we could show that 912. Should we talk about the 912?
We should. Okay. I like talking about the 912. Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Look at you.
So the 912, like I said earlier, this is like the perfect acoustic instrument for the electric guitar player. All right. So the reason is that the playability, along with the scale. So again, if we use terminology that other people might know, the scale length of this is like everybody's favorite guitar, electric guitar that begins with a G and ends in a sun. So a 24, your shorter scale, 14 fret, cutaway. So all of those.
Oh my gosh. Do that again.
Okay, so if I did it here. And normally you just can't do runs like that on an acoustic guitar and have it be fluid. You're going to be, it's hard to do, it's this and that, but the playability is amazing. Finger stylists,
So Roger would like this.
Roger would adore this guitar. This would be, and for his Brad Paisley, people, it's got all of that really great playability for, playing fast and everything. But it still does all of those cool acoustic things that Taylor's known for. And all of with the V class. Plays great, a wonderful instrument. So,
let's hear a little more of it. I really like it.
Yeah, well.
Let's hear more.
What do you want to hear?
Sweet Melissa.
Oh, we have we're doing Melissa, and we talked about the ability of using acoustic guitar for doing electric type things. So in that song, the intro, so. All right, now what acoustic guitar can you make that bend? So you can do all that on an acoustic.
That's amazing.
It's not easy to do.
Right.
And here's the thing that's going to absolutely blow people's minds on this guitar. Normally, whenever I watch a guitarist play in an acoustic setting and he plugs his acoustic guitar into an electric guitar amplifier, you know, you hate that. Well, what's interesting with this is, by the way, this guitar is a rosewood back and sides guitar. This guitar plugged into like a deluxe reverb, if you're doing a electric gig, sounds amazing. And normally I would never, ever, ever say that. But you could take this guitar to a gig, you could have an A-B switch, and you could have an acoustic guitar amp and an electric guitar amp and just go back and forth, and you'd have a guitar that can do a lot of different things. And because we make our own electronics, our ES2 electronics, you can tone shape the instrument very easily and make it sound like a big box 175, a jazz box, an acoustic guitar. You could play Melissa. You could do all of those Dickie Betts runs. You could do any of this stuff, but you're on an acoustic guitar.
So it's extremely versatile.
It's out of this world versatile. It's an amazing instrument.
So this is like the only one you ever need.
Well, you could do a whole gig with this guitar. There's no doubt about it. I mean, like if you took this guitar and that 12-string, oh, it would be amazing. Yeah. Be awesome. So that's
great.
The Builder's Edition. Plus, we still have all of our K14. Remember, we did the rollout of the Grand Pacific last year, and the Grand Pacific has just done amazing. So you look at a little bit of history of Taylor, and let's just kind of bring it all back now. The introduction of V-Class gave us the ability to do all of these wonderful things. We now have technology with Taylor that we haven't borrowed from anyone. This is all our own things now that we do, all right? We have all these different woods that now sound like they're supposed to sound. We have the playability of the NT neck, which is the new technology, NT new technology neck. So all of our guitars play amazing, and the ability is that as the guitars age, the necks are easily resettable. 15 minutes, you can totally reset a neck. So you've got a guitar now, as Bob always wanted to do, to be as maintenance-free as possible, play the best as possible. Now we have guitars that sound like no one else's. So it's an incredible story.
And you're adding the sustainability factor, which I love.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, for those of you that don't know, we even bought land in Hawaii to replant koa trees. We've already been doing the work in Africa with the ebony forest, replanting the ebony forest. So what a company, what a story. And you know, it's like, company's great, story's great, our people are awesome, but now
I think so.
But but now the products are just speaking, you know, loudly. Last 2 years we've won awards for our acoustic guitars nationally and internationally, Guitars of the Year.
And from my perspective, when you buy that Urban Ash, you're buying a story. You're not just buying, you know, a piece of equipment or an acoustic guitar. It has a history. It has a story behind it.
And so if you take it a little bit further, so let's say that I didn't build guitars. Let's say that I built end tables, okay, and I was trying to be, you know, sustainable, and I took this Urban Ash and I made a table. Okay, well, that's really good. I've reused the wood. But the thing about guitars that makes it interesting is that guitars are tools that enable human beings to tell stories, okay? So we can use this power that we have with musical instruments that people all over the world tell stories with. So this is the new Bloodwood. I mean, this is the way to do it. And this is a great way to tell the story of sustainability. And, you know, guitars never become sustainable. We just try to be smart with what we're doing and reclaiming what the earth gives us.
Well, thank you so much, Rich. I always have a blast every year. Thank you so much, guys. Like, subscribe, throw a comment in. You know, we would love to talk to you, and we'll pass all of your info along to Rich. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you so much. Keep watching all of our Winter NAMM 2020 videos. I'm Melissa from CA House Music, and this is Rich from Taylor Guitars. Thank you.